Hey, what is going on, everyone? What's cracking? For the final day's play here between New Zealand and the West Indies, it is day 5. Huge matchup, this one. The West Indies need to win, or maybe a draw would actually get them into second position. We haven't quite worked out the maths on that one yet, but you'd imagine that, obviously, no, Sri Lanka, they have 2 wins. 2 would override the 1 and 2 draws. So, New Zealand at the moment, 3 wins, they're qualified. The West Indies, they need a win to qualify. And at the moment, it is the West Indies with a 6-run lead. Make that a 2-run lead as de Grandhomme edges this one to the boundary. As the West Indies obviously needing to take 4 wickets to not only dismiss New Zealand, but they're going to have to bat again. And that is made official now as de Grandhomme picks up a couple more, which will give New Zealand the lead. So they're going to be setting the target to chase now for the West Indies. And it's Santner and de Grandhomme who've been in for about 130 balls between them. And they are really starting to work this West Indies attack over. They've been bowling for 98 overs. So when they do end up coming in and batting, which we would imagine is at some stage today, they're going to be tired. They're going to be spent from being in the field for such a long period of time. They need to get these wickets as quickly as they can. But that is another cracking shot from de Grandhomme to pick up another boundary. That'll put him up to 35, I do believe. This shot, bang, straight off the bat over the top of the covers. Now Warrican bowling. Oh, he might have got some bat on that. I think he did, and it's ballooned up off the thigh. And Warrican gets the breakthrough wicket the West Indies were after. So all of a sudden, a partnership that you thought New Zealand were going to be able to take deep through at least this morning session has departed pretty quickly. They only managed to put on an additional 30-odd runs this morning, or even 25 runs, I think, as Colin de Grandhomme out for 35. 288 for 7 New Zealand. Their lead just 15 after they trailed by 10 at stump. So just a 25-run partnership between de Grandhomme and Santner. And now Wagner, who had a little bit of a cameo knock in the opening innings of about 41. If he can reproduce that here, the Kiwis will definitely be welcoming that, as Mitch Santner is actually batting quite well, and he's picked up where he left off yesterday, finding the boundary. We saw de Grandhomme also do that as well this morning, but he obviously has departed now, as Wagner might have got some glove on that. Oh, did he? Because it was dropped by the leg slip. Trying to sweep that away. Maybe a missed opportunity for the West Indies there. Not sure whether or not there was actually any bat or glove onto it. It certainly looked like it did deviate off something. Maybe it came off the arm, but in the end it means that New Zealand survive yet again for another little period of time here as they continue to improve the runs and the lead that they have. At the moment, that lead is up to 31 as they pick up 2 more here at the end of the 104th over. And you just question, I guess, what is going to be a big enough lead for New Zealand to feel comfortable enough in this test match that they're going to go on and win it? Is it 140? Oh, there's an edge, and that's taken, and that's the end of Santner. So things have changed very quickly. But, you know, you go back to what's going to be enough for New Zealand to maybe hold on for the day. Can they hold on for a draw here? It probably doesn't look like, now that they have lost both de Grandhomme and Santner, that they can go on and post a big lead. So maybe they start trying to bat a bit of time here and keep themselves in at the crease for as long as possible, because a 38-run lead with 2.5 sessions left in the day's play is not going to cut it for them, as we've just ticked over the 15-over mark for the day. That might be another wicket, was it? No, just off the ground there from Santner it was, who's going to pick up his half-century. I thought Santner was the one who actually got dismissed. It was Wagner. My mistake. So the fact that Santner's still in does give New Zealand a bit more hope than maybe I originally anticipated. We know Southey and Bolt, I guess, are both relatively capable batsmen at just sticking in there and hanging around. And if Santner's going to be able to hit some runs, it could honestly give New Zealand enough time to post a lead that they can both defend within a period of time and, you know, possibly give themselves a chance at drawing this game, which seems the most likely thing at this stage. The lead only 52 runs right now, with Santner finding the boundary down the ground with a quality shot there. And New Zealand continue to press forward with these runs. How big will this partnership between Southey and Santner be? Will it be enough to push the lead up over, 70, 80, 90, 100 runs? They've just got to work in little periods, little partnerships here. Don't want to overextend through one and end up losing a wicket. That would be the worst case scenario from them. There's another boundary. As Santner, look at him, 63 not out at the moment. 6 fours, but he's spent 125 deliveries at the crease, and he's pretty comfortable with the way he's playing at the moment. Can Tim Southey stick with him? Or will Mitchell Santner be the one to fall? It is Mitchell Santner who's the one to fall. And he's devastated with that wicket. He's just given himself room to try and hit it over the offside. Maybe the wrong shot to be playing under the circumstances. And New Zealand lose their 9th wicket. Mitchell Santner is out. Out of here. He's gone for 64. 338 for 9. And their lead now just 66. He's almost a run out there as Bolt's out in the middle. 71 run lead here. Southey with an edge through to the keeper. That'll be all she wrote for the Kiwis. All out with a lead of 71. So the West Indies now, that's their target for victory. 72 is what they need. That will get them the victory, and it will put them into second place if they can go on to win this test match here. You wouldn't think it's too far past them. There's the New Zealand batting card, all out for 3-4-4. They've got a 71 run lead. Can Brathwaite and Campbell get the West Indies off to the perfect start? Even a 20-run partnership would just sap the energy of the Kiwis early. They'll need to take all 10 wickets for less than 72 runs. We see the pitch has definitely, lost a bit of traction here. You can see it's really deteriorated as we are in the 5th day of play now. Plenty of runs being scored on it. Plenty of deliveries have been bowled. Oh, that's close, but you can see Bolt early getting it to swing. And a maiden first over means maybe the Kiwis just with a few opportunities early, especially with this new ball. They have to take a couple when they get the chance and give themselves the best opportunity at winning this test. Edged through, and it might be a boundary. It is from Campbell. So disappointing there for New Zealand. They would have loved that to go to hand. If you get the first one at 1 for 3, geez, all of a sudden you're on. Doesn't matter. Next ball, Southey responds with a brilliant outside edge, and he's able to take the wicket. So the West Indies lose 1 early. 7 for 1. Campbell departs for 5. Tell you what, a couple more wickets and it just starts to make the West Indies nervous. You can see this pitch has deteriorated quite a lot. Santner took some wickets in the first innings. He can replicate that in the second. Look at the amount of rough right by the crease. Oh, gee, they're desperate for runs at the moment, but the Kiwis, they're just holding it off. Williamson liking what he's seeing in the field. Bolt comes in. That's in the air. Should just be 1. Maybe they want 2. They do want 2. Oh, no, sent back. Oh, and then called through for a 1. For a second, it's going to be a run out. New Zealand have 2 wickets. Shea Hope's out for a duck without even really getting going. I think he'd face 9 balls. But real disappointing again. Just an absolute blunder with the running between wickets. It was an initial call of yes, followed by a call of no. Then the yes came through again. Shea Hope's the man who departs for a duck. Latham involved in the run out. The West Indies have lost 2 quick ones. Can the Kiwis keep themselves in it with another one? At 14 for 2, they're technically on track to tie the game if they keep taking a wicket every 7 runs. New Zealand. Bolton Southey, they've started well. A big shout there. Did it shape back in enough? Or was it just moving away? No, says the umpire. Gives it not out. Will we see a review upstairs? They say no. Oh, and a little inside edge of the bat doesn't go onto the stumps, and maybe another run out, but they get through for 1. And the West Indies, they just need to settle here, and even building, as we said, a 20-run partnership is probably going to be enough to see them home, because it is only a 72-run lead by the Kiwis. That's a pretty good throw in from the deep as we see some more runs off the bat of Brathwaite, who has been very impressive this tournament for the West Indies. He's scored an abundance of runs, and they're up to, 34 for 2. So you see the Kiwis still up and about in the field, still trying very hard to get these wickets. There's an edge that doesn't quite carry. And again, just disappointment for New Zealand as they see the ball hit the middle of the bat and the players take off for a couple more runs. 38 for 2 as it stands. 37 for 2, sorry. And more runs on the onside. Just too straight the bowling at the moment if you're able to work that away. We want to force that ball to be driven through the offside, especially with that field that is placed. As Wagner, even he's up and about in the field. So we head to drinks. West Indies 44 for 2. They need a further 27 for victory, so they should be able to get it without too much trouble. You see this shot in the air from Brathwaite, but in the gap for the boundary for 4. And it's just 21 needed for the West Indies to win now. Still got 8 wickets in hand. They should go on to gain a victory for themselves. And despite Santner's best efforts, there's an inside edge on the pad that, again, doesn't go to hand. It's not to be for the Kiwis, you'd imagine. Here's a couple more runs. At the end of the 20th, it's 57 for 2. 15 more for the West Indies to win. As Brathwaite once again finds the mid-wicket gap for a boundary. Takes it to 11 runs for victory for the West Indies. And you'd imagine that these two are going to see them home. There's an edge, though. It's taken. So a little consolation wicket for the Kiwis. You know, obviously, you know, they're not going to take 7 for 7. It's unlikely. Maybe possible. You never know. Can they get on a bit of a roll here? Doesn't appear like it as Brooks hits a couple more. They just need 6 to win. So they could almost finish it with 1 shot here, the West Indies, if they really wanted to. Brooks heaves that across to the onside. It'll be 2 more. And it'll mean 4 to go for a West Indian victory. They're up to, what is it, 69 for 3. Wagner is bowling. It's an inside edge. It beats everyone. It'll go to the boundary. And the West Indies win, keeping their hopes in the TTC alive. So with this victory, they will move into 2nd position of Group B, but there is still 1 game to go. New Zealand have qualified. Will the West Indies join them? Well, we'll find out after the next match's completion. It'll be South Africa and Sri Lanka that will play off for the possibility of getting that 2nd spot in Group B. But at the moment, it looks like it's New Zealand and the West Indies in prime positions to qualify. New Zealand, of course, we know they have. But the West Indies, they've done what they needed to do. They've won this game. And now, unfortunately for them, their fate is in the hands of 2 other teams here in Group B. But I'm very excited that this TTC, it's going down to the last couple of games to see who's actually qualifying for the finals. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week for the next test. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.